Welcome to my world. Another day, another time for another acquisition of knowledge. Knowledge is power, health is wealth. My effort today is titled Rape Victims and Laboratory Diagnosis. You might be wondering, what has laboratory diagnosis got to do with rape? Yes, the laboratory is a place of demystifying many mysteries. The laboratory would help because most of these victims do not want to come out because at the end of the day, justice is not gotten. But when you have the assurance that the laboratory can help in really stating clearly, giving the verdict that yes, from all that has been seen genetically, the person who violated the lady is really culpable. So that gives confidence and it will help in reducing the prevalence. The prevalence of raping is on the high scale that some people have described it as an epidemic, and so it is necessary for us to talk more about the violence against women. So my effort today is to see how we can truly and honestly reduce or stem the tide, and let us see how the laboratory has really helped in that area. If you like this my channel, do not forget to subscribe, press the like button and also the notification once you are notified. You will, with the news production, will be getting straight to. Let me repeat the title once more. Rape Victims Lab Diagnosis. The outline. Introduction. Worldwide reports. UN or WHO rape survey. The case study. We have two case studies. Laboratory diagnosis and conclusion. Introduction. Rape could be defined as sexual intercourse against a person's will. If a man forcibly subjects a woman who is not his wife to sexual intercourse against her will, he has committed the crime of rape. That is not ambiguous. Rape is a serious crime that affects millions of people around the globe. According to the World Health Organization, approximately 1 in 3 women will experience sexual violence in their lifetime, with 7% of these women having experienced rape or attempted rape. Worldwide reports. UN data suggests a third of women worldwide have suffered sexual or physical violence, and 1 in 10 girls have been raped or sexually assaulted. A survey of laws in 73 countries found rapists could avoid punishment if they married their victims. In at least 9 jurisdictions, including Bahrain, Iraq, Philippines, Tajikistan, and Tunisia. It's so funny that once you rape a person, then you are free to marry. So it's like forcing women into marriage even when they are not ready. I don't think it's a civilized way, but that is not for me to judge. It's for me to report what's happened. In Lebanon and India, rape within marriage or promise of marriage is legal. Bad laws are more or less underpinning a global epidemic of sexual violence. That's the opinion of legal experts. This lack of legal protection, combined with a significant lack of access to resources and support for survivors, has resulted in an alarming number of unreported incidents. For example, a study by UN Women found that as few as 10% of rapes are actually reported to authorities worldwide, which shows in the data on rape statistics, with countries with the highest rape statistics being the countries that have the best system in place for victims of rape or sexual assault to comfort, and countries with the lowest or non-existent rape rates being countries
where rape is a cultural taboo and no systems in there to allows the witness and or charge assaults. So it is more or less condescending, allowing people to rape and unchallenged. It is not a fair system, if you ask me, anyway. WHO rape survey, rape statistics by country. When you look at this chart, you will find that number one is Botswana. That is where the highest rate of rape is committed. I don't think it portrays the country in good light, but at times, because they keep to the law, they punish people. You now are labeled. But those who don't keep to the law, don't punish people, they may not be exposed. So Suriname is number 10, but Panama is 8, so you can understand it's their law that allows culprits not to go unpunished. This is where Nigeria, my country, is at number 135. You have countries of 144. Number 144, Saudi Arabia is almost non-existent rape, but like we said, these are countries where probably there's a taboo to even report it, talk less of a woman talking, going to court. But where the case can be proven, I am very positive that the women will have confidence to really challenge, come out, and once the tests are done, the case is proven against the culprit, the accused person, and so it will more or less diminish or reduce the number of rape cases. Prevalence of violence against women and girls. Globally, an estimated 736 million women have been subjected to physical and or sexual intimate partner violence, non-partner sexual violence, or both at least once in their life. This figure does not include sexual harassment. The rate of depression, anxiety disorder, unplanned pregnancy, sexual transmitted infection STI, and HIV are higher in women who have experienced violence compared to women who have not. These are statistical figures, as well as many other health problems that can last even after the violence has ended. Most violence against women is perpetrated by current or former husband or intimate partners. More than 640 million women aged 15 and older have been subjected to intimate partners violence. Of those who have been in a relationship almost in the adolescent age of 15 to 19, 24% have experienced physical or sexual violence from an intimate partner, that is husband, even some their father. 16% of young women aged 15 to 19 experienced this violence in the past 12 months. Let us now look at a case study that I personally witnessed, because I conducted the test on these ladies. Two girls came to the laboratory, this happened almost 3 decades ago, who claimed they were requested to do HVS to confirm rape cases after they had seen the clinician. When they were interrogated, they reported that the junior of the two was raped by some boys learning carpentry in the vicinity. So the senior sister ran to investigate and apprehend them, believing that she could really handle them. But they raped her too. As she left the place, they both ran to their mother and narrated the incident to her. But rather than being foolish, the woman went straight to the police station and reported the rape case. The incident was recorded and the boys were apprehended and locked up. This was what brought them to the laboratory after they had seen the doctor who must have performed the preliminary clinical investigation for violation before we are supposed to examine for semen stains, whether there are live spermatozoa, and also to check if there is any STI infection. And this we did, we confirmed, and indeed there was the semen, live semen, as well as dead spermatozoa, live spermatozoa, sperm cells, and dead sperm cells. We can't really remember whether there was any STI infection, but that was the experience of this lady, and it was aptly recorded. In 1999, two young women informed the Rio de Janeiro Police Department. This is an experience outside my purview, and happening that this is happening in Rio de Janeiro, that they had been victims of sexual assault. A suspect was arrested, and the victim identified him as the offender. The suspect maintained that he was innocent. In order to elucidate this crime, vaginal smear, just like we did, slides were sent to the DNA diagnostic laboratory for DNA analysis. That which we did not do any DNA analysis during my time because it was very long time ago. 3 months after the crime, as unique forensic evidence. Lab diagnosis. Clinical examination by clinician or pathologist is the first step in the diagnosis. That is, the clinical diagnosis is the one that usually comes first. Other protocols for the examination of sexual assault victims include the preparation of vaginal wet mouth slides to determine whether sperms are present, and if so, whether the sperm are motile, the sperm cells are motile. Acid phosphatase tests could also be done because the acid phosphatase is very high in concentration in semen of men, but all presumptive analysis. Culture and sensitivity testing was done, and it will rule out XTI, so that if there is for effective treatment. The old forensic method of testing happens in a case study. Victim was 5 years old girl who was raped by a person. They use a portable forensic light source which emits very high intensity lights of the range between 415 even up to 700 something nanometer, and ABO blood grouping. It screened all primary area of semen stain from different places on victims' undergarment. The ABO blood grouping of each selected semen stain were done by absorption elution method. So after this was done, those selected stains showed blood group which matched with the accused person's blood group. Thus, the accused person was convicted in this heinous crime. The modern forensic lab diagnosis. This is now more refined and can really match, so that proven beyond reasonable doubt that the man really was the person that violated her. This basically involves fingerprinting. The details description of the genitalia and the regions are made within the forensic medical service. That is, the forensic scientist usually does this, and the vaginal swabs are taken from the rape victim, and some of this biological material collected is then transferred to glass slide DNA typing from cells recovered from the vagina. To get enough epithelial cells, you have to amplify, and both the primer as well as the sample collected are both amplified. It is when there is this annealing that shows that yes, the match. To really show that that's the victim, then there is a way to visualize the reaction, and that is usually done by staining whatever results, staining with ethylium bromide or the primer, the PCR primer, or nucleotide stain with fluorescein dye prior to PCR amplification. By the conclusion is as simple as this: the rape incident that has assumed epidemic proportion can be reduced if women know that those who violated them, the accused people, can be specifically identified with improved DNA testing also called fingerprinting, will give more confidence to these victims to report the case and get justice, which will stem the tide of violence against women.